If you grow, you train for it. Beautiful. If you stumble, you've been pushing so hard that your hunger for strength will only increase. And because that craving burns so deeply, so strongly, it will drive you to train harder, sharper, more disciplined than ever before. Most of you don't even treat your body as the temple it was designed to be. You've forgotten the art of gratitude. You can't even stand in front of a mirror and thank God for the vessel he has gave you. You've lost the ability to be able to honor your temple with discipline and care. This was once an ancient practice that ancient warriors practiced. It has now been lost to laziness and comfort. You should be able to step into your training like walking into the hyperbolic time chamber, where every moment counts, where your gratitude fuels your endurance, and where pain is nothing more than the forge shaping your true self. Your body is sacred. Understand that completely. Ask any warrior. They've seen themselves stronger long before the muscles appeared. They've seen themselves move with vigor way before it even happened. And if they fall short, the frustration ignites them to go stronger and harder than ever before. It ignites them to rise again, fiercer, more focused, more unshakable in the pursuit. That's the mindset you must embrace. Your body and mind are allies, but for most of you, it has been neglected and turned against you by your own habits. But here's the truth that no one knows. Ingratitude and neglect are what most people are chained by. Here's a thought experiment. I want you to sit with it. I want you to reflect. How many times did you disrespect your temple? How many times did you skip the training you promised yourself? How many times did your own body beg for movement and you ignored it and you chose sloth instead? How many times did you treat your temple like it was worthless instead of sacred? How many times did you betray the vessel God gave you? Forget your enemies for a second, that's another story. The reality is, if you trace back most of your weakness, if you trace back most of your neglect, you will find that it wasn't caused by lack of opportunity. It was born from neglect, from ingratitude, from refusing to train the temple you were entrusted with. You've got two choices as a man. You either wake up to the truth, see how the matrix is programming you, pressing on your mind, or you roll over like a sloth and accept it. But here's the secret. Even if you accept it, the fight doesn't stop. It just moves inside your mind and it gets worse. Here's a thought experiment. I don't even know how to fly a plane, right? But if I was in one and we started to crash, you still find me in the cockpit. I'll be gripping the controls, trying to steer, trying to gain control, even if I had no clue what I was doing. Because I'm not the type to just throw my life away. Just throw my hands up and let the mountain hit us. I'm the man who fights for control until the last breath. And that's the problem with a lot of you. You've given your power away. You've hypnotized yourself into believing your own excuses. Oh, I'm depressed. I've got a curse. I'm unlucky, bro. You've turned your own words against you. You chained and locked yourself up. Meanwhile, I refuse to let anything outside of me define me. If my circumstances suck, I change them. I take self-accountability. If my emotions feel heavy, I move anyways because I'm that type of man. I'm preem. I'm not saying I'll never feel low. I'm not saying I'll never feel down. I might for an hour, maybe a day, but I would never become a depressed man because I refuse to believe that. I'll never let that identity get inside of me because I'm a son of man. I walk with my shoulders back. I walk with my head high. I walk with my chin up because that's who I am. That's why depression can't catch me. People call it a disease. People call it a curse, but I'm immune to it because I'm alive, because I move, and because of my mind. Here's what you don't get. Every word you speak is self-hypnosis. Every single word, it's a seed that's being planted inside of your own mind. You can't sit around speaking curses over yourself. You can't sit around speaking down about yourself, then wonder why you're living in a life that's wasteland. You need to speak life into yourself. You need to speak life over your circumstances. You need to speak with power. Speak as if God has already gave you the crown, because he has. And yeah, they'll call you delusional. So what? So what? And you'll lose a few loser friends along the way. Who cares? They'll call you a narcissist, but run the metrics. Who started with less? Me. Who worked harder? Me. Who's winning now? Me. Who sleeps easy? Me. Who smiles more? Me. Why would I train my mind for theirs? Why would I think like the very people who are losing? God has already blessed me. He's already punished them. So why would I adopt their thinking? And this is why I talk the way that I do. I'm not my enemies. I'm not the dorks on the internet throwing shade, sitting around fapping and jerking off the Pornhub. I've already won, and you can too. You have to open your mouth and start speaking the truth about yourself until you believe it to be true. People talk about motivation like it's magic. Motivation is worthless. Discipline is the only thing that matters. Motivation fades the moment you're tired, you're bored, or you're uncomfortable. But discipline is what carries you through the fire. If you can't control yourself, you'll never control anything else. You'll never control money, business, women, respect, because you couldn't even conquer your own flesh. This is why most men lose. They betray themselves. They skip the workout. They waste time. They indulge the distraction. They've chosen TikTok over purpose. They think God will bless them anyways. But why would he? The kingdom doesn't reward rebellion. It rewards order, obedience, dominion. A man out of control is a man unfit to lead. You want to know why you're stuck, why you feel average. It's not because the world hates you. It's not because of bad luck. It's because you've been weak with your own self. You've chosen comfort over calling. You've chosen feeling over responsibility. You've chosen excuses over execution. And deep down, you know it. I believe every man has two paths. You either betray yourself or you master yourself. If you betray yourself, you'll live small, forgotten, ignored, irrelevant. If you master yourself, your body, your mind, your habits, your impulses, guess what? You'll rise to the top. You'll carry power most men only dream about. You'll see doors open that no one else can see. You'll walk in authority. That's what being preem really means. Preem. P. Not money, not women, not cards. It means mastery. It means ruling your life like a king rules his kingdom. I don't train because it's easy. I train because it separates the men from the boys. It separates the one who bend for comfort versus those who bend reality itself. Every day you push yourself when your body screams no. When the world tells you to stop, you're building more than muscle. You're building authority over yourself, over your mind. That is kingdom work. That is the unseen battle most men would never fight. You see, most people pray for success. They pray for blessings, pray for favor. They sit hoping the universe, hoping to God that it just drops into their lap. But they don't understand God gives power to those who prove they can carry it. Who can endure? Who can discipline himself when no one's watching? You want the kingdom? You want the life that isn't just about money, but about influence, about respect, loyalty, and control? You have to earn it in the silence, in the pain, in the monotony that no one else respects. I've never met a man who mastered himself and wasn't tested. And here's the key. Every trial, every setback, every moment your flesh screams for comfort, that is God's whispering. Will you rise? Will you conquer? Will you choose me over ease? Will you choose me over comfort? That is the war that matters. That is the war that no one sees. The war that creates the man who doesn't play the game, but owns it. So when you're sitting there thinking about shortcuts, thinking about what's easy, thinking about what everyone else is doing, you're betraying your own self. You're leaving that preem version of yourself, that kingdom man waiting in another dimension of time, of the multiverse. And he's stronger than you can imagine. He's disciplined. He's relentless. He's faithful to his craft. He doesn't give up. He doesn't trade TikTok for purpose. He doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't pray for luck. He prays for strength to do what must be done. And then he does it. This is the standard. This is the code. This is what separates rulers from the spectators. And every day you decide to do less than that, you're not just losing to the world. You're betraying your own self. I want you to understand, God doesn't respect mediocrity. Neither do the people who will follow you. Neither does history. I train every single day. Some people say I overtrain. I tell them this one. I train. I don't rest because I'm not here to be ordinary. I train not to look bigger. I train so I can prove to do the things that most men refuse to do. When it hurts, when I don't want to, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every single day, that's how you build a man who can dominate his mind before the world tries to dominate him. It's more than mental than physical now. You understand me? If you can force yourself to do what you don't want to do, what will stop you? Nothing. Life, pain, failure, nothing. Discipline is your weapon. Without it, you're crushed even before you even start. If you wait to feel motivated, you'll never be great. Motivation is weak. Discipline is unstoppable. You must become preem. And understand, there's a version of you that never sleeps in, never skips training, never wastes time. There's a version of you who never fails, and he's waiting for you. Ask yourself honestly, you at home, if for the last 2 years, you never missed a workout, never wasted hours scrolling, never played video games, never sat around doing nothing, imagine who you would be right now. Imagine what you'd look like. Imagine where you live. Imagine the car you drive. Imagine the respect in your woman's eyes when she look at you like a king. That man already exists. The only thing standing between you and him is your monumental laziness. God will give you anything you fight for. Anything. But he will never hand it to the weak, the lazy, or the arrogant. That version of you is waiting. And every day you choose to stay the same, you betray him. Listen, I've never seen someone go all in, every ounce of effort, every day, and fail. The only people who don't have what they want are those who don't try. I've never seen a man wake up and dedicate himself fully to becoming stronger, sharper, more disciplined and fall short. You're not weak, you're not incompetent, you're lazy, you're distracted. There's a version of you out there who never skips training, never wastes time, never succumbs to temptation, never scrolls, never complains. That man exists in the multiverse. He's stronger, sharper, more respected, more loved than you can imagine. And you can become him. You can. That's exactly what I did. I knew the man I had to become before I became him. I wasn't born rich. I wasn't born with money to buy these suits. I wasn't born with big advantages. But I knew I had to become a strong, disciplined, relentless force, a man who could handle any challenge, who could conquer anything the world throws at him, because that's how God honors effort. He blesses the man who refuses weakness. Discipline is everything. If you cannot force yourself to do what you don't want to do, how will you survive the grind of greatness? How will you train your body when it wants rest, work when your mind wants comfort, deny distractions and control your impulses? The weak live by feeling. They wait for motivation. They wait to feel like it. A man does not wait. He acts regardless of his feelings, regardless of the circumstances. That's how winners are made. That's how leaders rise. That's how you build a life worth commanding. And God rewards those who master themselves. He doesn't bless the lazy. He doesn't bless the indecisive. He doesn't bless the distracted. He blesses the disciplined. Genuinely think about this. If you only train when you feel like it, if you only work when it's convenient, if you only act when it's easy, you'll never be stronger than the man who pushes through. You'll never rise above the ordinary. I train every single day, not for vanity, not for recognition, not even for wealth. I train because I refuse to be weak. Because discipline isn't a choice. It's the difference between mediocrity and mastery. It's the difference between being average and being preem. And it's the foundation God uses to shape men into kings in their lives. If you win, great. You manifested it. Beautiful. If you lose, you've been imagining it so deeply that you'll crave it even more. And because you crave it so strongly, you'll be driven to push harder than ever before. Most of you don't even use your mind the way it was designed. You've forgotten the art of imagination. You can't close your eyes and picture the life you want so clearly that it gives you goosebumps. You've lost the ability to be able to stir up real emotion inside yourself. This is an ancient skill that men once had. It's stolen by distraction and noise. You should be able to see your vision so vividly in your mind that this reality feels like nothing more than a stepping stone, a bridge carrying you into the world that you truly desire. Your mind is that powerful. Ask any champion. They've seen themselves winning long before it ever happened. That's how they move with confidence. And if they fall short, the anger drives them to rise again. Stronger, sharper, more determined to win. That's the mentality you must have. Your mind is your greatest ally, but for most of you, it becomes the enemy. But here's the truth. Self-betrayal is what most of you are chained by. You don't even realize it. So let's run this as a thought experiment. I want you to sit with it. I want you to think. How many times did you doubt yourself? How many times did you skip what you knew you were supposed to do? How many times did your own mind trick you into procrastination, into laziness? How many times did you convince yourself it was fine to fail even though you didn't try? How many times did you reach for comfort, for excuses? How many times have you betrayed you? Forget your enemies for a second. That's another conversation. The reality is, if you trace back most of your failures, you'll find that they weren't caused by someone else. No, they were born from self-sabotage. And that's the hardest truth for most men to face, because the biggest enemy isn't out there, it's in here. It's not the people who doubted you. It's not the ones who laughed at you. It's the part of you that gave in, the part of you that folded when it got hard. Most men never admit that. They'll blame circumstances, blame people. Oh yeah, that's bad timing. But deep down, they know they weren't crushed by life. They understand. They betrayed their own mission long before anyone else ever had the chance to. And until you face that, until you decide you're done letting weakness live inside you, nothing will ever change.